Death to trees! Pow, pow! You know, it's been 5 days and they're like, I already called somebody. This is why I call before I go. If you don't answer, I don't show. If you think I'm just having fun driving around, eating food and listening to music, that's not true at all. Tree business is hard and there's something broken every single day. I hope it doesn't fall on my head. Ah! That thing went right down into my head. That's the life. That's the tree business life. And if you can't get through this to the point where you have enough money to buy nice things, then you go out of business. As simple as that. And I get $2,000 in a check. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you got $2,000 in a check. I'd be happy if I come home with $200 or $300 of that money. It's going out. All the money is going out. And then, you know, if I'm lucky, I got enough money to go home and pay my bills. But this is why people don't do business for themselves, because they don't have the fortitude to stick through situations like this. And me, I don't think I have the fortitude. I just think I have to do this because I can't really work for other people because of my autism. Who's gonna carry the boats? He's like, life dealt you some hard knocks, get over it. Life deals hard knocks. Be a better man. Yeah. I hope you don't mind being on GoPro camera. You're gonna be YouTube famous. Oh, I'll just call it massive crane tip over, just kidding, and then just be like just kidding at the end. Just show a picture of a fallen crane for my thumbnail and be like, this is what not to do with the crane. Go ahead. All right, let me sit on it for a minute and check. Let's get a strap, actually. Take me up a little more. I'm gonna do a recheck at 10 feet. All right, I'm definitely on there. Saying nothing like my wife says nothing. Oh, nada, no importa. She says, oh, nothing. Yo. All right, put pressure. brave. There you go, I can feel you up there. Take it up. Yeah. I wonder if that's strong enough. Cable up and then you're gonna come back down like 3 feet closer to you basically. There's no way to remove this tree from the backyard. Now we could have done this tree without a crane, but how are we gonna get it out of the backyard? Yeah, it's lying to you. Really? Wow. All right, let's tighten it up now. You've got a double strap on. Oh wow, there's just a big broken branch sitting right here. Lift up tighter, make it tighter. Okay. It's free. All yours. I'll get out there and we'll get that one that's on your wire. Oh, it's really, really long climb, but just because we're such good friends. Problem. Oh, I go down. Down, down. Stop right there. Yeah, yep. It's fine. Thank you. Oh, it's free. Okay. I'm okay. It swung into my ropes, but you can move it left if you can, or boom up. Alright. Okay, I got it back. There you go. Watch those. All right, you're okay. You're clearing everything now. There's one Widowmaker here, but I'm under it, but it's not too big, so we'll just let it spear down on my head when it's time to fall. No problem. I actually like when that happens. I think it feels good. You're doing awesome, Adrian. Yep. Those dude's back there looking at you, man. He's impressed. You could tell. How's one guy getting all these branches cut up? He's a regular human multi-tool. They don't know me. They don't know me. Somebody's got to carry the boats. Cable up. They don't know me, son. David Goggins. You know who that is, don't you? You yelled at him? What did he do? Really? Wow. Yeah, bosses always hate when we have to work. And I thought I surpassed that point in my life when I had to work. Thought I was just gonna let other people work now. Whoa! All right, crane. Yep. Stand it up more left. There you go. Cable up and move left. Move left more if you can, and stop cabling up. Okay. Who's gonna carry the boats? You guys have to watch David Goggins on YouTube. He's funny. He always runs like 100 miles and stuff. He's super motivational. He's like big fat guy. He joined the Navy and became a SEAL. And now he's like super motivational. Always talks to young men about, he's like, life dealt you some hard knocks, get over it. Life deals hard knocks. Be a better man. He's really awesome. got some lift on it too going that way so it doesn't... Oh, that's a lot. Wow. That's too much. I made a bad calculation. I gotta make a change to my notch, okay? We're just gonna have to go toward you. I didn't realize how bad that was. All right. Feels like you're supporting it. All right, now. You're ready to stand up, so when it goes, go up, up, up. You should be able to stand it all the way up at this point. Yep, that's fine. You're not hurting anybody. Yep, it's breaking off now. Go more towards you. There it is. Oh. All right. I hope it doesn't fall on my head. Ah! That thing went right down into my head. No, but I caught it here with my hand. Did you see that ball?
Yeah, it's
right on my head. I caught it with my hand, look.
okay?
Yeah. I should have got that out. I wanted to leave it up there. I was hoping it would go out with the tree. We're gonna get the top first. I'll shimmy out, we'll go up past the midpoint, and I'll just cut it from down there. Zoom down a little, zoom down. Oh, there you are. I like the little latch on this ball. Well, it's a different shaped latch. It's got like shape to it. It's got a sharp edge so you can grab it. Really? All right, now raise it up. Lay it down. Down with it, down. I thought you were gonna boom left. You're like, I am now. Oh, I think you can get this right one here now, and then we'll just do the main top next. All right, stop. Kind of far from it. There we go. Send it. Whoop. There we go. All right, boom right. No, I mean right, because that's gonna go into me. So I want it to break off and go that way, please. All right, that's good. Ready for it? Ah. Right. Lower it more. Right. You got it. Thank you. Adrian, hurry up. Running, not walking. Running, not walking. Running, not walking. Hey, I was in the army, bro. I know about that. That brutality. This one leans away from me, so as long as you walk it that way, when you lift it, we'll be fine. Climbing on me. Set it back down a little. Oh, a little bit to the left, please. Oh, jeez. Ah, get away from me. There's a hummingbird up here, dude. Oh my goodness, there's a big bee though. It was like a bumblebee type, but he was moving all aggressive. Oh, I better not. It better not. I'm gonna cut his other part of his house down. Can't go out too far on this one. You'll be okay as long as you go up that fast with the cable. They're looking at me from 2 streets down. Wow, that guy's way up high. He's not even scared. He's just standing there. Totally fearless. He's like a hero. This is my hangout. I got my fat boy swag. Fat boy swag. Death to trees! Pow, pow! Jesus knows our every weakness. Take it to the Lord in prayer. Yeah, so this has been a fun morning. As soon as we're here working, the springs on the chipper break, both of them. And I don't know how they both broke, and I went back to my shop and I thought this thing came with an extra spring when I got my, chipper, and it only had one, so I took a welder and spent like 15 minutes trying to weld spring steel, which is not really gonna work regardless, but I put it on there just to see if we could have 2 springs for today. And then we started cutting this tree down, and we had the wrong rope up in the tree already, so I said whatever, it's no problem, we'll just pull it. And I was pulling with this truck. It was going backwards because it was a back leaning tree with a side lean too. And the saw guy he's really good, but he had a little problem with cutting the other side, and so there was still like 6 inches of holding wood. And so we were trying to pull this thing and not knowing that the holding wood was so thick, and the rope broke. And so then we were sitting here with the tree that was getting ready to fall backwards. Couldn't get a wedge in there. We put a jack under it. We put a jack inside, but I didn't have a plate of steel, and so the jack was pointless. It was just pushing directly into the wood. And so we ended up shooting another shot and putting another rope in there and then doing some more cutting. And it was an ordeal, but now I'm leaving and hopefully everything goes good because I'm gonna go do a bunch of quotes now. I've got like 12 quotes, which I rarely ever have this many people on lineup waiting to get a quote. But I'm gonna go take as many as I can and pick up my chipper knives, and yeah, we'll go from there. But yeah, it's been eventful. Hopefully it gets better from here. It's kind of interesting, like people think I'm just having fun in this business, driving a truck around, collecting thousands of dollars, but they have no concept the time I waste doing inconsequential tasks because I can't get people to do their job. Look at like Verizon. I just got off the phone with Verizon. I've been dealing with them for like 45 minutes. And I spent 2.5 hours the other day trying to get access to my business portal. So now, like I said, 20 minutes on the phone doing that. I got a list of 12 people waiting to need a phone call from me right now, trying to do quotes out in Freeport. I had to drive north side of Rockford. That's a 30-minute drive. It's a 25-minute drive to the south side of Rockford. Then I gotta go drive to Freeport. That's a 35-minute drive. Then my worker calls me and says, hey man, we got a small problem. We ran out of diesel on the chipper. It never ends. And I'm not cruising around having a good time, believe me. And I got a call, I had to call and get these springs. You can't source them locally. I called the people in Chicago. My springs were broken on the chipper this morning. And I called the people. My wife looked in the book for me. That's one thing I got going for me, is my wife is very helpful. She looked in the book and she found the part number. Then I looked it up, made sure it looked correct on a picture, and it was correct because I saw the picture. And so then I started looking. There's only 1 or 2 places that really has the parts. So I called Chicago, and the guy says, yeah, that's $200 per each spring. What do you mean $200? Says here the other supplier is charging $100. Yeah, best I can do $175. So he's paying more money for the springs. That's why he has to charge more. But the point is, it's double, right? This larger reseller online has larger stock. They bought the stuff a long time ago when it was cheaper. They can do that, and it never ends here, man. It never ends. I'm waiting for a back order part for a Husqvarna chainsaw that I ordered. It was supposed to be there in 10 days a month ago. And then I waited 2 weeks, and where is it? And I called them and I said, hey man, 10 days, where's the part? Oh, they were supposed to have it in their shop 10 days. So he's like, yeah, it never came. He's like, looks like it's on back order. What do you mean it's on back order? You couldn't tell that when you ordered it? I gotta call Husqvarna and see what's going on. Yeah, they said it would be here middle of next month. So I'm supposed to wait till middle of next month to get this part now, because everywhere you look online it's back order and the saw runs but barely, and so we're not running it because it just shuts off. It's got air leak and you have to have a special part. It's not something you can just substitute, and I didn't see any aftermarket for it. So I got a down saw that's like one of my best saws, and you would think, man, professional chainsaws would have professional support, but that is not the case. So if you think I'm just having fun driving around, eating food and listening to music, that's not true at all. Tree business is hard, and there's something broken every single day. Every day something is broken. That's the life. That's the tree business life. And if you can't get through this to the point where you have enough money to buy nice things, then you go out of business. As simple as that. And that's what I'm trying to do right now, is just survive. I'm just trying to be in business. That's all I'm trying to do. You know, and I get $2,000 in a check. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you got $2,000 in a check. I'd be happy if I come home with $200 or $300 of that money. I don't even get that money. $2,000, $600 for this, $400 for that, $500 for that, $200 for springs, $500 for workers. You know, it's all going out. It's going out. All the money is going out. And then, you know, if I'm lucky, I got enough money to go home and pay my bills. But this is why people don't do business for themselves, because they don't have the fortitude to stick through situations like this. And me, I don't think I have the fortitude. I just think I have to do this because I can't really work for other people because of my autism. I don't match up good with other people. They don't like me, they don't promote me, they don't want to teach me. Life is hard, buddy. Let's check this starter out. It's a little toasty. Come on, WD-40. Show me what you're made of. Show me the goods. Glow plug. Oh yeah, no dice, buddy. Crazy. This camera is so cool. It just pops down in front of my face like this. This is way better than other methods I've used for videoing. You guys are right in front of all the other cars, but I got parallax so I can see through the camera in both eyes. I just think it's really funny how, like, my customers, they'll call me and I'm like, hey, you know, I aim to please. I try to quote in 2 days, but it could take a week. And then I get there, you know, it's been 5 days and they're like, I already called somebody. This is why I call before I go. If you don't answer, I don't show. And then, like, sometimes people want the cheapest prices in the world. Like, I quoted a job the other day and I liked the guy. I actually sold him the job, but he you know, I told him $2,000 to take this tree out. And he goes, he goes, oh yeah, you know, that's a lot. I was thinking 1,000. And I'm looking at this tree, I'm going, no, there's a full load of wood here on the trailer. We've got to come back for the skid steer. We've got to chip all this brush, massive amounts of brush, and it's a poison ivy tree. It's covered in poison ivy. You know, I had to pay the added expense of having an extra worker out there and everything because, well, actually what I had to do was I had to arrange to be gone from the job site. It was so bad that I came out and did quotes instead, but it was scary. I mean, that poison ivy was pretty much, I mean, last time I did a job around any kind of trees like that, I got the worst poison ivy, and I never touched it one time. It was dust, or it was just drops from the leaves, I don't know what, but it got me, and I was in the hospital actually getting, I had to get steroid pills. So anyway, that's not related to the quote. The quote, he thought it was half as much, and I was like, I can't meet you in the middle. 1,500, even if I meet the guy in the middle, that still is not, it's not enough. And then I went and I looked at one, and it's funny because, you know, some people, oh, thank you for coming out, and that's kind of their way of saying I'm not hiring you, because they don't say I'm thinking about it, let me talk to my wife, I'm still waiting for another quote, whatever, right? If they say thank you for coming out, that means that thank you for wasting your time for my benefit, now I'm gonna go hire the other guy, and that's their prerogative, but that's what polite people will often say. But this guy goes, he goes, your competition is out competing you. And I said, okay, and I started walking away. I'm not gonna stand here, waste my time competing on price. You know, price shoppers are not always good customers. The thing is, it's just like your cell phone. Do you price shop for the cheapest possible cell phone on the market? Or do you buy a good cell phone? And then once you find a good cell phone, you know, there's a couple places you can get it that, you know, have the normal pricing. And so pretty much everybody has the same high pricing, and you get the good phone, you pay the high price. So I think for a lot of people, they think that the phone is, or for a lot of people, they think the tree job is gonna be dirt cheap. Not too long ago, I had a lady, I told her like $650, and she was like, no, she's like, that is way more money than I was planning. Last time we had a tree out, I gave him $250. And I said, okay, then why didn't you hire him to cut this tree for you? And she said some story that was probably a false story or not true in some way. But maybe it was real, and it was like a landscape company or something, and they like to make a little extra money that day. But we have to mobilize a company with a lot of different expenses built onto it. Tree service is expensive. And she wasn't understanding of that fact. So I say, that's fine. Let these people go. I used to think if I could lower my prices that I could get more customers, and I spoke to someone who knows a lot. He's an experienced Mexican guy, used to work for Asplund, very, very skilled climber. And back when I was starting out, he was already established. And he actually told me, don't lower your prices. He said, the good customers are gonna hire you because they know you're good enough and you can do the job. They're gonna hire you for who you are, for your character and everything, and not just for like the cheaper $50 cheaper. But you know, I even one time, not just a couple days ago too, I quoted one job, and the guy, he said, you know, I hired this other guy instead of you because his price was cheaper, and it didn't work out how I wanted it to, and then he changed prices on me and stuff, and I was like, huh, interesting. Well, how did you like that? And he's like, well, I didn't really, you know, he's like, oh, it's a small town, I don't want to say too much. But then he ended up telling me more about the way that the guy behaved and everything, and then the way that he kind of was like money grabbing a little bit. Changing prices is not good practice. Good business owners don't do that. You stick to your word, and you keep your word, and you write down what you promised so you can fulfill it. And then he said, you know, he said your price was $1,000. I said, no, my price was $650. He goes, yeah, he charged me $600. And I was like, well, there you go. You got it wrong. I gave you two prices, $1,000 and $650. So my $650 versus this guy's $600, and then he ended up still having to deal with a difficult person and paid more money in the end. So sometimes the customers are unaware of this fact, that contractors are a different bunch. and there's a shortage of contractors. It's hard to get them, and so because of that, it makes it more likely that you're going to have a person with bad character. And of course, none of us want to deal with bad character, but we have to do it routinely. We deal with bad character because that's just some of the people that are out there. But I sell my customers good character, and I guess today I probably could have told the guy when he said they were out competing me, I could have told him I don't compete on price, I compete on quality and the customer experience. But you know, it's meaningless to people when they're talking about price. What they don't understand is that the person you deal with is a large part of the expense. You're paying for that person to be who they are. You pay a lesser price, you might be purchasing a cheap guy. You know, he doesn't have standards, he just does whatever. That's not always the case, I'm just saying it could be. But anyways, I don't know why I'm ranting about pricing and customers, but and I'm gonna have to go through this video and do edits. Now I'm making too much content. But anyways, I'll talk to you guys in the next scene. Bye.